issue. As I mentioned, the number of young people getting hooked on hard drugs is rising, some as young as 13 years old. And you couple that with the risks of new HIV infections, teen pregnancy, GBV cases. Let's take a look at this story and then we'll get back to the discussion.
Betty Wairimu comes to the Reach Out Rescue Trust Center in Old Town Mombasa City nearly every day. This is where she gets support for her baby and herself years after successfully beating an over 1 decade-long addiction to heroin.
Nilianza nikiwa primary class 7 kuvuta bangi, kavuta hadi form 3 nikaanza kutumia heroin.
She says the more she used, the more she wanted, and the higher her tolerance levels rose. By the time she was hitting rock bottom, she had graduated from smoking heroin-laced withdrawals to sniffing it and finally injecting herself. It is through the needle that she contracted HIV.
Kwa hiyo harakati, rafiki yangu mwingine intentionally alikuwa anajijua hali yake, so akajidunga dawa, akanipatia mimi the same syringe, nikajidunga. So kuna watu walikuwa wanamjua, ndo akaanza kuniambia, wewe yule mtu fulani hivi na hivi ni mgonjwa.
She has battled the addiction through support from this center and is now living a near normal life. Hers is one of the stories of success from this county, but also one that traces the nexus between drug dependency and new HIV infections.
The area of prevention and treatment services for key populations.
Taib Abdul Rahman Bashib runs the Reach Out Rescue Trust Center in Mombasa and has seen thousands of women and men go through the rigors of beating drug addiction. His client's base is now growing younger and younger.
A 14-13-year-old who is using heroin. So the age group has gone down at the prevalence of 15 to 25. So we can have a younger age going into use. And we have people who use drugs at the age of 13. Heroin, I mean, they have started at the age of 10.
While calling for stringent measures to protect this younger age group, his organization is also focused on, amongst other interventions, the principle of harm reduction to help active drug users keep themselves safer from the attendant dangers that come with injecting drugs. Statistics indicate that there are close to 100,000 drug users along Kenya's coastline, while Mombasa alone accounts for 10,000 of these. 3,000 of those drug-dependent people are enrolled in programs that are designed to wean them off the drugs and protect them from harm.
One of them is the condom distribution and needle and syringe program. We used to talk of the prevalence of 18% for those who are injecting drug users. And for female, it's higher than that, maybe at around 44%. But now with this program, we've managed to bring it down at the rate of 8 to 10%.
We say that if you have a prevalence of 18% compared to 4, the contribution of drug use is very high with other populations, and because the drug use also stems from a social issue.
Mombasa County Health Department says it is alive to the dangers that exist for the county's drug users and its fight to bring down HIV new infections, especially those stemming from risky sexual behavior and injecting drugs.
So that once they are weaned off, also that's the next challenge is what next? What kind of socio-economic support would we give them? So that's currently being undertaken and looked into by the department.
In the meantime, organizations like Reach Out are still putting their best foot forward in the fight against the drug menace and stemming HIV infections in the county, and helping women like Betty keep the faith and the trust that there is life after addiction and with HIV too. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV in Mombasa.